Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you're keeping fine. So let's start our discussion today. As you all know that our education system has changed. We all are studying from online basis. Our education system that we used to have physical education direct. We used to contact our teachers, we used to have direct activities. So everything is changed. So in this video we will be discussing about that. The use of technology in education is not really new. The pandemic has only made it more pervasive and acceptable. In the wake of the lockdown last year, that was in 2020, educational institutions across the world had to shift classes online and incorporate digital learning and assessment techniques into the curriculum. We all know about that. Most brick and mortar schools in India were unprepared for this sudden change, where learning practices had to evolve overnight. However, over the course of the year, they have become more comfortable and acquainted with using this kind of technology. The pandemic has underscored the significance of digitalization across the country and even given a fillip to online learning as classroom teaching was suspended and it was difficult to carry on. It emerged as a panacea to sustain the momentum during the lockdown, as all one needed was a computer, a tab, or smartphone, and a very good internet connection. Learning on the go, now that life is gradually returning to normal and educational institutions have started opening up. One is increasingly hearing the phrase blended, an amalgamation of the two training environments, that is high tech digital learning and traditional face to face learning, is coming up. There is something for every learner, be it those who learn better in a structured environment comprising face to face learning with an educator and independent students, as well as those who prefer to learn online using digital tools and digital media and leveraging technology. This type of learning allows students to get the best of both worlds. While the traditional way of learning offers an advantage of quick, on the spot feedback, online learning facilitates personalized, self paced learning while mastering each topic. Also known as hybrid learning, blended learning has been around for a long time but has come to the forefront due to this pandemic and having students learn from home. A convenient, hassle free, and cost effective model to ensure holistic, engaging, and personalized learning. Blended learning leverages emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning to tailor learning as per the pace and performance of an individual. A robust learning management system with course material, assessment, assignment, quizzes, workshops, feedbacks, teacher interaction, teacher communication, skilled based learning, and real time reporting as a one stop solution to ensure tangible learning outcomes through leveraging of technology is a potent tool to reap the benefits of technology in this time of online learning. Now, discussing about the online versus offline, it's all about striking a balance between learning with technology, using technology as a tool, and thinking of it as a partnership with learning face to face. Due to current events, technology has been heightened in most of the schools, at least for those who have access to devices and the internet, and that's something schools and colleges should address when students return. For us, our students' knowledge and understanding of how to use technology has increased, and we need to rethink when we enter the bricks and mortar how to integrate technology for learning and teaching. In order to ensure that blended learning works well, the aim should be to combine the strengths of both environment in a way that is suitable for the students' demand. There are multiple and many methods that can be adopted, such as face to face teaching, accommodated with modules, and rotational learning, where students move from one activity to another, either by teacher or online or something else. The biggest benefit is that this can be modified and molded as per individual requirements. Students develop better learning techniques, allowing them to thoughtfully deliberate on concepts and understand them thoroughly with deep expression. The leveraging of technologies such as artificial learning, machine learning, and virtual reality makes learning an immersive and engaging experience, and the theoretical lessons can be supplemented with project work, internships, workshops, and webinars, along with extracurricular activities to ensure holistic learning. The updated curriculum, relayed by subject matter experts through the best in class technology, helps in honing next generation skills such as resourcefulness, design thinking, and critical ability or to rethink. Blended learning has addressed the more holistic elements of learning and teaching, and older primary students are encouraged to be principled by citing and referencing their sources much more than they would in normal schools or in normal times. Students are realizing the power, truth, and validity of sites they are checking and showing more integrity as they submit work. And in our case, students are teaching students about ethical and moral approaches to learning. They are spending time critiquing what they read and the authenticity of what they are reading, and are more confident in choosing things to read that are appropriate, significant, challenging, and engaging. But every learning model has its pros and cons, and blended and online learning are no such exception. It requires scaling up of infrastructure, uninterrupted internet connectivity, availability of smart devices, and an innovative approach to make it an immersive experience. While the screen time has increased drastically for children, there is also a cognitive overload of covering content and looking up things quickly on the internet and not thinking about things. For those children under 12 years, there are only cons of online learning. Sitting in front of the screen for long affects not only the eyes and brain and cognitive development, but also the life and socio emotional skills of the particular child or those children. There is still a long way to go before the complete digitalization of this education sector, and the push given by the lockdown in steering us in the right direction. What educational institutions can do to make blended learning work better is to have boot camps for families and students. Students can manage their time online, try not to be seated in one place all the time, and create a learning space for themselves. Now, talking about the role of schools, what are the roles a school can play or a college can play? A school or a college is a home for students to learn their very first lessons. Through their school days, many children might face hurdles, experience joy, accomplishment, missteps, and suffer setbacks, all of which have an enduring influence on their future. Over the years, there has been a transformation in the teaching learning methods, and the role of teachers and students has changed drastically. It has become more of student friendly. The pandemic last year has provided an acceleration to the hybrid model school and to the synchronous and asynchronous blended learning, focusing on the emotional and mental health is very, very crucial for a student. The future of the world relies in the hands of an emotionally and physically powerful generation. During an uncertain situation like this time of COVID-19 pandemic, some children developed extreme effects of depression, anxiety, despair, or other behavioral problems. Such difficulties may occur in a child or in any child, but those children who have been through a traumatic experience or lost someone significant in their life are at a higher risk. Children who fall under this group require higher consistency with regards to sleep patterns, emotional assistance, and reassurance about the days ahead. They need to get the right assistance and comfort for their mental health, and also need to be empowered to deal with this change by accepting it. It is thus very crucial to teach them to navigate through stressful situations and inculcate positive perspectives in them. This will help them to be happy, optimistic, accepting, and determined. By focusing on the emotional health and well being of the students, we are helping build a resilient direction. Increase in understanding the advantages of extracurricular activities. Education has gone beyond the confines of classroom and textbooks or materials. There are countless opportunities for students to acquire new skills and ignite unique passions. Participation in extracurricular and co curricular activities offers students an opportunity to display their inherent creativity and also showcase their ability in the areas of their interest. These activities help develop skills such as problem solving and conflict resolution. They open up a plethora of avenues for children to become more self confident, team players, and better communicators. Implementation of personalized learning as customizing the educational setting and curriculum that revolves around each student's requirements and expertise. Teachers here play one of the most important roles in an education system, but with a difference. Flipping a classroom is a great pedagogical strategy in the new school model, where students gain first exposure to learning. The synthesizing, examining, and processing component of learning follows thereafter. This model prepares students to strengthen their research skills, which will support them to evolve into quick learners, learning with the help of digital technologies. Now, the challenge that the pandemic posed became one of the best opportunities to upscale technology in the classrooms. Integrating and combining technology with the teaching learning process using unique and innovative methods has now become the new normal and also the need of the hour. This is very important in this time. Digital programs such as VoiceThread, Flipgrid, Nearpod, Edpuzzle, Koggle, Kahoot, Edmodo, Paddled, and many other makes learning more engaging and fun. It is filled with activity. In the real world, adjusting to the practice of technology will be an essential part of our lives. Even for educators, technology has become a notable professional tool. Enabling the student to improve their technical skills will prepare them for a life in the real world. One of the most oft used terms after the pandemic is the new normal. This term, the new normal in education, is the increased use of online learning tools like various available. The COVID 19 pandemic has triggered new ways of learning. All around the world, educational institutions are looking towards online learning platforms to continue with the process of educating students. It can be Zoom, Google Meet, or various others. The new normal now is a transformed concept of education with online learning at the core of this transformation. Today, digital learning has emerged as a necessary resource for students and schools all over the world, not only in India. For many educational institutions, this is an entirely new way of educating that they have had to adopt. Online learning is now applicable not just to learning academics, but it also extends to learning extracurricular activities for students as well. In recent months, the demand for online learning has risen drastically or significantly, and it will continue doing so in the near future. The term of online was not very appealing in 1970s or in 1980s, just like an airplane in the beginning of the 20th century. Internet was in development stage in the 1990s compared to now, and the conventional wisdom about the online courses was very different in 1990s than it is today. We are in the 21st century where everything is possible and acceptable. For example, students are studying at home or working utilizing computer, which is called online schooling or online learning. There are several factors which contribute to the growth of online enrollment, which I'm going to discuss now, which are as follows. Younger people are choosing non traditional education to start and advancing in their careers while completing and furthering their education. Severe recession of 2008 has created poor economic situations where people are upgrading or they are changing their career through online education or training programs. Online method of education can be a highly effective alternative method of education for the students who are matured, self-disciplined and motivated, well organized and having high degree of time management skills. But it is an inappropriate learning environment for more dependent learners and has difficulty assuming responsibilities required by the online courses. Now, I will discuss the Boston based consulting firm EduVentures, established in the year 2006, found that about half of the institutions and more than 60% of employers generally accept the high quality of online learning. But students' perceptions differ. Only 33% of prospective online students said that they perceive the quality of online education to be as good as or better than they used to face in face to face education. At the same time, 36% of prospective students surveyed cited concern about employers' acceptance of online education as a reason for their reluctance to enroll in online courses. Varieties of online educational methods have been developed, but the potential students should consider some identifiable factors common to all types before enrolling in any course or in any kind of programs. Generally, all these factors are not applicable to every online learning situation, but they do apply to the most. You, as a student, should more closely examine the online prospects that most interest you and be sure that the program fits your life, career needs, and your prospective job. As an educator, your approach to this new paradigm might be with varying degree of enthusiasm or excitement or any kind of concern. Ask yourself a few questions. Let me discuss that. Are you optimistic or skeptical about online learning? Does that help you? Are you interested in knowing how delivering courses online can improve your teaching and offer excellent opportunities for your students to learn? Do you want to know what you will be up against as you plan and deliver your classes online? It is critical to consider both the pros and cons of online learning so as you can be better prepared to face the challenge of working in this a new environment and embrace the new opportunities. That is, that it has to offer and that it has strengths and weaknesses. As with most teaching methods, online learning also has its own set of positives as well as negatives. Decoding and understanding these positives and negatives will help institutes in creating strategies for more efficiently delivering the lessons, ensuring an uninterrupted learning journey for students. Now, what are the advantages of this online learning? Firstly, it is about efficiency. Online learning offers teachers an efficient way to deliver lessons to students. Online learning has a number of tools such as videos, PDFs, podcasts, and teachers can use all these tools as part of their lesson plan. By extending the lesson plan beyond traditional textbook to include online resources, teachers are able to become more efficient educators or imparters of knowledge. Secondly, accessibility of time and place. Another very much advantage of this online education is that it allows students to attend classes from any location of their choice. It also allows schools to reach out to a more extensive network of students instead of being restricted by geographical boundaries. Additionally, online lectures can be recorded, archived, and shared for future references. This allows students to access the learning material at a time of their comfort or at any time it pleases them. Thus, online learning offers students the accessibility of time and place in education. The third advantage I will discuss is affordability. Another advantage of online learning is reduced financial cost. Online education is far more affordable as compared to physical learning. This is because online learning eliminates the cost points of education, while transportation of a student, student meals, and most importantly, real estate. Additionally, all the course or study materials are available online, thus creating a paperless learning environment which is very much affordable while also being beneficial to the environment. Now, the fourth advantage I will like to discuss is improved student attendance. Since online classes can be taken from home or any location or place of their choice, there are few chances of students missing out on their lessons. The fifth advantage suits a variety of learning styles. Every student or each student has a different learning journey and a different learning style. Some students are visual learners, while some students prefer to learn through audio. Similarly, some students thrive in the classroom and other students are sole learners who get distracted by large groups or large number of students. The online learning system, which is with range of options and resources, can be customized or personalized in many ways. It is the best way to create a perfect learning environment suited to the needs of each and every student. Now, coming to the negativities or the disadvantages of online learning. What are the disadvantages of online learning? Firstly, inability to focus on screens. For many students, one of the biggest challenges is online learning is struggling or a struggle with focusing on the screen for long periods of time. With online learning, there is also a greater chance for students to be easily distracted by social media or other sites. Therefore, it is imperative for the teachers to keep their online classes crisp, engaging, and interactive to help students stay focused on the lesson. The second disadvantage I will discuss is technology issues. Another key challenge of online class is internet connection or internet connectivity. While internet penetration has grown in leaps and bounds over the past few years, in smaller towns or cities, a consistent connection with decent or proper speed is a still problem. Without a consistent internet connection for students or teachers, there can be lack of continuity in learning for the child. This is detrimental to the education process. The third disadvantage of this online education is sense of isolation. Students can learn a lot from being in the company of their peers. However, in an online class, there are minimal physical interactions between students and teachers. This often results in a sense of isolation for the students, and in such a situation, it is imperative that the school allow for other forms of communication between the students, peers, and teachers. This can include various things like online messages, emails, and video conferencing that will allow for face to face interaction and reduce the sense of isolation. The fourth disadvantage of this is teacher training. Online learning requires teachers to have a basic understanding of using digital forms of learning. However, this is not the case always. Very often, teachers or educators have a very basic understanding of technology. Sometimes they don't even have the necessary resources and tools to conduct online classes, and that becomes really very difficult. To combat this, it is important for schools to invest in training teachers with the latest technology and upgradation so that they can conduct their online classes seamlessly without any difficulty. The fifth difficulty is managing screen time. Many parents are concerned about the health hazards of having their children spend so many hours staring at a screen. This increase in screen time is one of the biggest concerns and disadvantages of online learning. Sometimes students also develop a very bad posture and other physical problems due to staying hunched in front of a screen for a longer period of time. A good solution to this kind of problem would be to give the student plenty of breaks of 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so from the screen to refresh their body and mind. This will help them in refreshing and they will be energized. So this is all that I have discussed in today's video. I hope you will understand what I have taught or I have explained in this video and you will relate it to your personal life. And I hope this video will be of some use to you. So concluding my video here, just stay happy, stay safe, and let's hope this pandemic will end. That's all. Thank you.